Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final week of the Montreal Overwatch League, the 7th week of action. The day where rankings are decided, and I am joined today, as always, by my good friend, Dimi Kanto. How are you doing, man?
I've been all right. Wasn't there last week. Was there the week before. Off and on. Kind of busy with school. School sucks. But we truck on. We move forward.
You truck on?
Truck on. Big old American 18-wheeler.
Truck on, my friend.
Hey.
Well, we are trucking on today, certainly,
Yes, we are.
because we have two incredible matches for you tonight.
As always.
As always, every match is interesting. And as always, we are going to cast the Concordia Esports game
I wonder why.
as they face the Vicious Phantom. Now, Concordia Esports.
Yes.
We keep talking about them because we keep seeing them. It feels like every single week we have something extra to say about these guys. But this week, I'm going to let it all to you to recap the season for these men because they have had a pretty seesaw season, to say the least.
Both teams tonight pretty much have had one of those seesaw seasons where we see glimmers of hope out of either team. So Concordia, sometimes with their dive comp, looking very good, sometimes looking really bad. Same thing on Vicious Phantom. We've seen brilliant strategies at the start of the matches that just don't execute throughout the match. But tonight, we're going to get both of these teams against each other. I think Concordia is a bit more favored than Vicious Phantom, a bit more prowess in their execution and dive comps and ability to push forward through enemy teams, but Vicious Phantom could surprise us as always. Maybe take it to 3 games. So
yeah, I'm super interested to see how these two teams will face against each other because we've seen both of them play in different situations, and I think we can pretty much sum up the Vicious Phantom style as brave, but a bit shaky, I think.
Shaky, yeah.
They have ideas and they have interesting compositions where everything seems to be working until everything crumbles under their feet and nothing is working
and
anymore.
You can't really get your momentum back because you're still mentally a bit shattered by your first attempt, your first 2 attempts that didn't go as planned. So you're kind of still trying to think, what character can we switch out and maybe make this work? And in the end, you just don't get much. Concordia, too, has been dealing with those issues where you'll try dive comp, might not work out. Okay, let's try something different. All right, that's not working. Maybe let's try a different player this week. All right, that's not working either. So both teams have been struggling with those difficulties throughout the season, but Vicious Phantom did not play last week, so we might see something new today.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see how this goes. Obviously, it would be the easy call to just say, oh, Concordia is going to win this, because Vicious Phantom's only win this year, or this season more likely, is against the Grizzlies, and it was because of a forfeit on the side of the Grizzlies. And I really do believe that Vicious Phantom are looking for this one win, and they are hungry for it, certainly, because they do not want to get into the playoffs knowing that they cannot beat any team of the league, which is not particularly true because every single time we go into playoffs, there are a couple of surprises, and it's bound to happen this season too. But I also want to talk a tiny bit about what's going to happen with the Grizzlies and Psychopaths, two teams that are both 5-1. Sorry,
kind of opposite ends of the ladder of the other 2 teams we're casting tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the same conditions where they need to win.
Exactly, and I do believe that both of those teams only have a loss on their record because they forfeited out of not having enough players to show up, which is kind of the reality of having a league full of university students and students in general. The Grizzlies have a lot of, I think,
young
still
players.
High school and CEGEP students, still very young players, young talent. So this is going to be an interesting match at the top.
Especially with the maps put out tonight. They're quite a bit unusual. So, Hanamura, first one. Kind of the weird assault point where that first point is so crucial to your long-term defense in that game, followed by Oasis. Another map where we've seen quite a bit of this season. A lot of teams really preferring that Pharaoh on that Oasis. And then finally, Route 66, the classic escort map.
So we're going to have at least one assault map today, and it's going to be the first one of the day, of the night, actually. Now, assault maps are never exactly the preferred choice for any of the teams, ever.
2 CP.
Yeah, and they can go a long long way. I mean, I've seen things on ranked that people should not see. But
Bastion every game.
I mean, we did cast a game a couple of weeks back on, if I remember, Volskaya Industries that lasted for a long time. And these things can happen on Hanamura too. These are the kinds of games that can either last 3 minutes or can last 15, 20, half an hour, maybe even more, depending on the situation. You can go a long, long time without losing the game, and
you could really lose it in a fraction of a second too. If you lose that first point and the other team has ult advantage and just rolls up on your second point while you're still spawning, it's not fun.
Yeah, it goes so fast. Now, for the first map, we are heading into our first game. Sorry, I said that in reverse, but don't worry. It's still happening. Concordia Esports versus Vicious Phantom on Hanamura. We are just about ready to go. On the side of Vicious Phantom, as usual, we have Nostra, Mighty Magics, Sympharos, Kelek, Unova, and Sorrow. And on the side of Concordia Esports, you know all of these names. JMKZ, Stealth, Subtraction, Medusa, Conman, and Mizo. Now, let's see how these two compositions will draw out today. Vicious Phantom known for picking out of the meta, trying different things, and Concordia Esports known for exactly the opposite, sticking to the meta and really sticking to their game plan as much as possible. I am seeing a Symmetra, though. This is probably one of the most interesting things. Okay. Immediately
it's on attack, so I wouldn't take that.
Okay, look, at this point, I wouldn't put it beyond them to just try out new things and maybe test things out for the upcoming playoffs. True. So, hey, if you want to play Symmetra on attack, you can do that. I can't guarantee success, though.
We were also one of the first teams to play Sombra on attack on Hanamura, really when Reinhardt was in the meta, where hacking Reinhardt and giving him no shield was like the worst day ever for Reinhardt.
Absolutely.
So you see that little hole to the left. Sombra used to be able, you could jump through that with Sombra and hack the Reinhardt, but none of that tonight. No Reinhardt on either side, and Orisa instead.
On the side of Vicious Phantom, we prefer to go for Orisa. Unova has been playing this character for a long time this season. I mean, a couple of weeks back, she's been in the meta for the whole season, and oh boy, okay, Concordia wasting no time to get onto that point, not even enough time to finish the thought here. And JMKZ with that Diva is going to just rampage on that point. Conman gets the kill for Sympharos, and that fight is not going to last very long. Concordia just immediately steamrolls over Vicious Phantom, and let's make crepes, guys.
And this is what we've said, if Hanamura, if your first attack goes bad, it goes bad. So really what Vicious Phantom did is they position on point, which hasn't been much of what we're seeing from the pro leagues. Usually the pro leagues will hang back to the back left of that point and kind of wait for the team to approach them and fight from there, or really hold the door, but Concordia straight onto the point here.
They are wasting no time, kind of mimicking their first defensive attempt on that first point. Kolek is getting that mag. JMKZ has nothing left to defend himself. He does have the ultimate on the side of Stealth. That's a very good sound barrier, just as you said. And now he has the ultimate. He's going to move on, and look at Concordia Esports simply clearing that point. Only Sympharos left on that one, and they're going to get the first tick and probably going to get even more. And yeah, you're going to charge on that Nostra. Very difficult to get on that point if you don't have the timer on your side. And Concordia simply takes a couple of seconds to go through the 2 points. 6 minutes and 27 seconds left on that counter. Ooh, Vicious Phantom. Yeah. They have their work cut out for them.
And they're going to need something brilliant on attack, really, to try and get this ball rolling for them. We saw really the ult snowball really hurt Vicious Phantom. Concordia got the sound barrier, they got the Diva mech, they got the Reinhardt chatter, and then it was just game over from Vicious Phantom from that point on. We're going to see a really similar comp coming out from Vicious Phantom.
I see.
Oh, we're getting a pause.
Mighty Magic's asking for a pause. We're going to get one right now. I hope. This is us looking for where we're going right
Looking
now.
for
But
the pause button.
yeah,
There we go.
there's none on that controller. It's a whole keyboard, and you gotta find it. But honestly, Vicious Phantom right now, maybe that pause is technical. I really hope that this pause is not simply them just trying to figure out their compositions and all of that, because really, in this one, there's nothing you can do. You just have to just move on to the next point. You have to think about your next map, basically, because at this point, 6 minutes, 27 seconds.
A minute 30, you have to win that in a minute 30, or at least get that, and then you have to hold for another 6 minutes your first point, your second rotation, if you manage to cap both points. It's a tall order, so...
The reality of things is Vicious Phantom hasn't had any kind of success against teams this season. And at that point, if you want to surprise your opponent with some specific tactic, some strategy you have in mind, yes, you should probably have that in your pocket. You should probably try to discuss it. But man, this steamroll for the first round, that was something that Vicious Phantom should not necessarily strive to come back from. I think you have to think about the next step.
Yep.
This is one map that you're probably not going to win.
It's also another map where teams generally don't really enjoy practicing 2CP,
Yes.
so it's not one of those maps where you get into a scrim where like, let's play Volskaya, guys. Let's play Hanamura's. Like, no, nobody does that. Mostly you want to play your escort maps. You want to get your attack rolling. You want to understand how to attack this point efficiently, but at the same time, you really have to be practicing that defense and where to hold that map and what compositions to play into that.
Yeah, and at the level where most of our players are, and that is the university level, you have to pick your spots. You have to really choose your time, not choose your time, but organize your time to practice on specific maps so that you don't get lost in the meta. And since Hanamura is not necessarily the one you love practicing in, sometimes you just gotta move on to something more important. Maybe practicing some nice compositions, maybe some synergy plays, and really at this point, I'm not sure that I'm not sure Vicious Phantom can come back from this, and Concordia probably have the first map in their pocket. But in any case, if they do come back from this, then they are ready for playoffs, because that is one tall order, and that kind of pressure you put on yourself to go back from a 6 minutes.
It's kind of like
27.
those ranked games where you just get steamrolled first point. You're like, what do I do? What do we do?
Gotta find something.
Everyone's raging at each other. Get off support.
Yeah, get off support. Please get off Mercy. Please get off Hanzo.
Widowmaker, you got 0 kills the entire
Oh
game.
my goodness. Those are the worst. Like medals mean anything. Oh my god.
I was looking at a screenshot from the Concordia versus Mirage series of the playoffs last year, and JMKZ had no medals.
I love it.
It was so funny.
I absolutely love it.
Johnny, you had no medals.
It means nothing.
We won.
You
Sort
did.
of.
You did. All right. Vicious
Until
Phantom
we lost.
versus Concordia Esports. We're going to move on to the next round here, 20 seconds, to prepare for Vicious Phantom. They don't seem to have any kind of specific out-of-meta composition in their pocket. They are just going for something pretty standard. Nostra on that Junkrat, going to try to bombard the opposition. We do not have a Reinhardt on the side of Concordia, so it's probably going to mitigate the effects of the Junkrat on that side. We're going for a Monkey, a Winston for Mizo, diving in the back lines. Let's see if they can hold this. This is probably going to be do or die at this point.
This is what we've seen from pro play, really, with the teams holding the back left and then getting off the point. But this Mercy's getting ultra low.
Yeah, that bubble was a tiny bit early outside of the actual fight zone. And Nostra's getting some good... Ooh, okay.
Stealth.
Just as I say this, can you curse me even more? Kelek is being chased down by Mizo. And that is a returning Zarya. She is trying to escape. Is she going to make it? Not even. Stealth is picking up that one. And JMKZ going to try to prevent anyone else from entering the point. They have one tick, so that is some hope right there.
It's a start. We really saw Concordia is actually Roadhog being really useful both on attack and defense. Really with the hook and the way teams are really playing characters like Tracer, Lucio, and maybe even Junkrat, where you could, if you hook them, you could get a really easy kill if your team just focuses properly, and it's been paying off really well.
All right, they're going upstairs now. Unova trying to protect his team with his
nasty
shield.
sleep.
Okay, yeah, Sinferas is gonna sleep for a little while, taking a nap right there.
I wish
He's
I
gonna
could
be
take a
woken
nap.
up. I don't know. Maybe they could have gotten an easy kill on Sinferas there, but they're still gonna manage to get on that point. Unova with the shield, it's still up, but not for long. He's gonna get focused down in a couple of seconds. Look at his life. That's half life already, Unova, and he's dead. Comment picks up that one. Stealth. Ooh, the Riptire doesn't pick up anything, just activates it just way too early. JMKZ gonna kill Nostra, and that mech is gone, but is it even going to matter? He cannot even pick up the small
He doesn't
diva.
want to die here because he's going to lose all his charge.
Oh my goodness. That is, he didn't die to anything, he just died.
He was getting killed by Monkey and then kind of killed
It's
himself.
just fate. Just fate.
Don't kill yourself, guys.
Just use that.
1-800-HELP.
All right, Sorrow here gonna try to make something happen with that barrier. Gonna push his team through the door with that speed boost. Let's try to get on that point. Unova trying to protect his team. Nothing is working out so far for Vicious Phantom. They only have one tick. They are on the point though. Concordia Esports have one ultimate.
There's the hook.
Yeah, nice. Comment picks up Sinferas, and finally he goes down. Sorrow boops him off, and now Subtraction uses the visor. Okay, well, was that intentional? Probably yes.
They
I
want
think
to reset after they lost
absolutely
their
just
carries. Mostly.
saying goodbyes.
They do have an ult advantage though. 4 ults to 1 to 2.
Sorrow did not use his barrier. Kind of.
No, I think they're really going to try and save it for this attack with the grab barrier.
They have 50 seconds. They can do something
They
right
have the
here,
shatter
right now.
too.
Yeah, they have a couple of things. Nostra almost has a Riptire
Look
again.
for the amp it up for to get on point, but that hook doesn't help. A good shield coming out.
Yeah, on point with that one. They are right
Grab
on
gets
target.
everyone.
Finally, they get Subtraction down, and nice! Nostra with a double kill right there. Killek finishes off the job as Command falls, and so does JMKZ. They finally get that point. Whoo, right on time. 4 minutes and 20 seconds now. You can feel the air just loosen up around Vicious Phantom's throat.
They got it, but it was expensive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now they're going to have a rough time fighting this one. Concordia has 3 ultimates. On the side of Vicious, they have nothing. They're going to have to get on that point raw. Okay, here we go. Unova getting focused down. The shield is not enough. Mizo getting that one. The credit is all his. He focused him down very hard right there. They did use Medusa's ultimate. And now they still have to. The economy is still in Concordia's favor. They're going to have to stall a tiny bit more before Vicious Phantom can find their footing. Okay, that is a good pick.
Nostra, really
look at that. He's going to come back not pretty soon, sorry. Not too far away. The shield protects his teammates. Unova doing a good job right there. Good positioning. He is falling a bit low, getting healed back up by Mighty Magics. Is it enough, though? Can he find Subtraction? He finally falls. Yes. Good job on Unova. Getting that Tracer was vital. Killek doing his work on JMKZ. Unova really focusing the attention of Concordia, doing his job really well. He finally goes down to Mizo. Mighty Magics, man, you can call him a great player right now. He helped out Unova maintain presence on that board, and here we go. Concordia rolling on Vicious Phantom. They don't get a tick, they don't get anything, and they still don't have the advantage in ultimates.
Really, once your front line dies and you lose one of your supports, it ends up in a tall order to try and come back from that fight, especially when Hanamura spawns is so close. Once you start to stagger, you're fighting a lost cause.
Absolutely. So, kind of don't want that desperation to set in right now. Vicious Phantom, I did say they didn't have the ult economy in their favor, but look at those percentages. Killek is getting his, Unova and Sorrow are also getting theirs in a couple of seconds, and so is Nostra, actually. So they're going to have probably 5 ultimates in that next fight if they just... oh, beautiful sleep from Medusa. Absolutely fantastic. That positioning may just win them this fight. Mizo killing Nostro before he can do anything with that Riptire. Unova has his ultimate. What can he do with it? He is on the point. Uses his ultimate on JMKZ. Not going to do much. Going to try to protect his team, and then you're in front. Mighty Magix is gone, and JMKZ gets the second kill on Collect. Maizo getting his own kill on Simferos. The eliminations are just coming in on the side of Concordia, and just as I said, that first sleep dart, man, it just disrupts the whole composition of Vicious Phantom enough for Concordia to find that first kill, and everything goes downhill from there.
We saw the idea be really good, again, with the grab, really trying to get everyone into that, especially on Hanamura. So easy to get people in that grab. But then the Transcendence came out immediately from stealth and completely negated everything they really tried to do with that.
If this is the way Concordia starts every fight from now on, you can see Vicious Phantom kind of losing hope a tiny bit, and he's still going to find Medusa, and now the advantage is all Vicious Phantoms. Can they do anything with it? Oh, Simferos falling dangerously low, and he does just go down and being revived by Mighty Magix. How long is that going to last?
Death Blossom. Oh, Frozen Blossom.
Okay, well, that's not exactly what you wanted out of that ultimate. Subtraction finding the kill on Simferos before he can do anything with that ultimate, and those are two ultimates not wasted, but still, Nostra got a kill with his. They thought they had the opportunity to go in. Wasn't exactly what they wanted.
No, not exactly. They had the I know it looks so good as a Reaper. You see the kills, you're like, oh, I got this. And then he got frozen immediately. Kind of a reaction pick coming out of Subtraction to hold this point and really
oh my goodness,
isolating
Medusa.
this Reinhardt.
Just using that sleep dart so efficiently, just straight in the bubble. Oh, he doesn't even find Maizo. What a wasted ultimate right now on the side of Unova. He's been so great so far, and he's going to get stuck on that ultimate. Subtraction positioning himself so well right now. He does get JMKZ's mech and the little diva. Collect will fall, sorry. And that's a fight that will go Concordia's way. This map is over 2-1 for Concordia Esports, and they lead 1-0 in this game. Whew.
We actually saw the Mei being really good to hold that point at the end. So Subtraction getting really nice kills, picking people up, kind of a slower McCree that can wall off people. And really, when you're advancing with that Reinhardt, with the sound barrier and speed boost, it's really, I'm not going to say like predictable, but it's really, you understand what's going to happen, and it's really easy to counter. So good on them for adjusting their composition.
Yeah, and you just saw the play of the game right there from Nostra. That was pretty nifty, a lot of eliminations, but if I had to call my own play of the game, I would definitely call it with Medusa's Sleep Dart on Unova, just as they were about to start a 4-ult versus 1 team fight. That was just about the only chance they had to do anything.
Yep.
And just as the Sleep Dart hit, everything was going down.
They also got Maywalled off on the top, so everyone who was trying to advance as Reinhardt was going in kind of got blocked off, so...
Yep, and you have to deal with that. And in the fight right after, Subtraction still walled off Simferos. He did use the rate form, and he tried to go back, but if you have a wall right there, you can't
not
just
going through
save
that
yourself.
Wall. Unless you're a ghost.
Yeah, he had to fall down,
Rate
and that forced
exactly
the positioning out of Mighty Magix, and then he did end up reviving Simferos, but he lost his life, and then the ultimate went off, Subtraction froze him.
Yep. We
all know what happened. Concordia won, and that was pretty darn good. Honestly, I don't think we could have had a more convincing performance out of Concordia.
Especially for the attack phase, really well orchestrated and well planned out, using their ultimates properly, using their speed boosts properly. So, what we like to see out of teams when they're really fluid on their attack.
Yep. And next map, guys, is Oasis. Don't forget, man, King of the Hill maps like this, they usually favor the best teamfight compositions, and if we can learn anything from Hanamura, it is certainly that Concordia is ready to teamfight Vicious Phantom. Those sleep darts are coming in from Medusa. How incredible was that performance from Medusa? Honestly, I know we don't usually showcase the supports, but she's been working on that character for a while now, and now that she's meta, and not just meta, she is incredible right now in the meta.
One of her favorite characters, I know, where she was playing a lot of it during season 5 or 6, I believe, but Stealth really one of like the premier Ana player, so maybe taking tips from him as he continues to shoot his balls at people on Zenyatta and make a very deadly robot out of one who likes peace.
I mean, this is what happens when you get out of the Mercy meta.
Yeah.
You can offer a lot more options to your support players and make them comfortable with their own picks and what makes them great players. And I believe that Medusa right now is showcasing the impact that she can have on a game. And it's the same thing on the side of Stealth. He's been having so much success on that Stealth, putting in so much pressure on the side of Vicious Phantom to move past the Zenyatta and focus him down, get on that backline. But they are protected. They have JMKZ, and he's always ready to defend his backline.
It even makes your DPS players more valuable as they can get a pick. That pick is not instantly negated as we see JMKZ get hooked, but
all right, guys. We are headed into this second map on Oasis. Concordia Esports on the blue side and Vicious Phantom on the red side. We have our first engagement, and Mizo is in danger. That is a very blue kill feed right now, but that single trade from Nostra may help out Vicious Phantom win this one. And again, Stealth just putting so much pressure, and he's going to chase him down. Oh, just about missed him, and
Sniper.
Look at this man doing some damage, getting the ultimate for the next fight.
Already has Transcendence at 6% into the game. Very quick Transcendence, if we might say.
Great precision on his strikes. Stealth and JMKZ have their ultimate. Subtraction is just about getting his in 2%. So they are going to have 3 ultimates to 0. Simferos does get the kill on Medusa, though. That is a great way to start your fight. Nostra trying very hard to get JMKZ out of that mech. If you can do that, you can take the fight and just run away with it. Kelek on that D.Va. He's going to try his luck on that side of things.
He's really expending a lot of ultimates for this point right now.
Our man finally goes down. Kelek and Simferos are having a feast on those tanks. JMKZ, he does get Kelek out of that mech, but that's not going to be enough. Simferos goes down. That fight is not lost yet for Concordia. They still have JMKZ on the point. Oh, Kelek goes down.
Medusa sniping some kills.
Oh my goodness. Can they take her down? She is stalling for the team really well, and that is still a contested point. Stealth uses the Transcendence, allows his team to get back on the point as soon as possible. 65%. This is still going, and Vicious Phantom, slowly but surely, they're losing this fight. They're getting back on that point, but Stealth is alive, and he's doing some damage, and Unova falls. JMKZ picks up that one. Oh boy, Kelek can only get the trade on Subtraction, but Mighty Magix is gone. What can you do if you don't have that support?
We saw there is really teams really protecting their supports. Like, if you protect your supports in these long engaged fights, you have such an advantage over the enemy team because you have heals and they don't. And Concordia really playing around Stealth very well, keeping him alive, keeping Medusa alive as long as she can, and turned out well in their favor.
Medusa did die very early in that fight, and I think it was all on Vicious Phantom to have the mechanical skills to just take her down as soon as possible, and they didn't have that. Not even going to look at Subtraction. Doesn't need to. Kelek takes charge with 3 kills on that ultimate. The self-destruct sequence. Conman, he's trying to defend himself. They are still contesting 99%. Can Vicious Phantom take that point at least once? Prove you can do it, and he's going down. Simferos, in the meantime, just getting JMKZ, and they are gonna do it. Oh boy! Vicious Phantom fighting back with the tiniest bit of life they have left. And they have 1 ultimate, soon 2 on Sorrow. But is it enough? They're going to have Stealth and Mizo with their ultimates, and Kamen is looking hot.
Trying to figure out why the Reaper, though, on Vicious Phantom's side. I know their name is Vicious Phantom, and Reaper's a good fit for that name. But not exactly ideal, especially in this comp where the D.Va is just going to attack your backline and defend. So it's kind of strange for me, but here we go again with the engage.
Mizo.
He falls immediately.
And that is not a very good one-to-one matchup. If you're thinking about Winston versus Reaper, you're not supposed to fall to the monkey. Mighty Magix doing his best to heal up his team, but he's going to fall immediately. JMKZ doing so well. This presence on the map that he has every single round, absolutely fantastic. Concordia Esports getting that point back. textbook style, and Vicious Phantom can't do anything. 44% is their count at the end of the game. This is not looking too hot for them, but still, they have a shot. We have seen a couple of good things from them in that last team fight that they won. They got the point back from the skin of their teeth, but still, they did get it back.
Sounds kind of weird, but I'd actually like to see Vicious Phantom move towards a triple tank composition with potentially a Roadhog. There we go. It's triple tank with a Reaper. Still not ideal DPS, but a bit better than they had before.
Gonna switch away from the Diva. Nope, they're going back on it. Killak
Huh.
kind of
Did perform pretty
contemplating
well,
the
so-
options.
Did perform pretty well
Yeah.
on the Diva, so
He was definitely not the weakest link of his team.
really needs to
Say
protect
that.
these supports in this first engage.
All right. Immediately, Concordia taking charge. They have the high ground, and that is not a position you want to be in if you're a Vicious Phantom. Sorrow trying to speed up his team, heal up his team just a tiny bit. Do as much as he can. Nostra fighting for his life against JamKZ. The mech is down, but not the Diva. You have to take her down before she comes back up. They are capturing this point, slowly but surely, and Vicious Phantom will retreat. They can't win the first team fight again.
And Monkey kind of dies for free once again, which is what a lot of teams struggle with dive comp. If your Monkey goes in and then just dies immediately and gets obliterated, you lose a huge asset to your team. You lose your shield, you lose your displacement, you lose pretty much all the presence you have versus the backline. And he can't die for free. He has to be helped, but Subtraction, massive pulse bomb.
Oh boy, look at Subtraction, the quadra kill on that one. And Stealth gets the mech. Medusa takes charge of Nostra. Everything is going right for Concordia Esports. They're just swimming in gold right now. Subtraction is on fire,
My ultimate is ready.
and deservedly so. Look at this man work.
When you play dive comp well, like Tracer really shines through. A good Tracer will show her value, and really we're seeing it this game with Subtraction.
Okay, he doesn't want to die right there. He's been a fantastic element of his team right now. He doesn't want to lose his pressure. JamKZ and Stealth both get... Oh my
slap.
goodness, Mizo the God. 3 kills with that monkey ultimate. Let's go, my friend. Rage on. He's on fire. 70% enough. Vicious Phantom. Oh man, they're seeing the tunnel. They're seeing the light. Is it over? They still have one fight left in them, but if they can't win it, it's all over. That's not exactly the end of the season you want.
Miso really juggling, going between his shield, really negating every single damage shot Reaper put in. Sound barrier. Okay.
Let's go
Nothing
forward.
so far.
Mizo is protected. He has a bit of armor. Subtraction getting the kill on Unova. That's a very bad start. You are one tank missing. JamKZ goes down. The mech is out of the fight. Can he get the mech before Nostra does anything about it? Just gives up on the little Diva. Just doesn't see the interest in it, but she's going to get the mech back. No, JamKZ falls just before he can get back into that mech.
Subtraction actually almost held that by himself as his team was dying.
All right, they got the point back, 7% and going. Vicious Phantom, this is looking very much like last round.
Stealth
If
getting
they don't,
bullied.
oh my goodness, Unova. He had the ultimate going, so you might as well use it to kill that poor Zenyatta. That's a mashed up robot.
Push him into a corner and just punch him a little bit.
Feels like C-3PO in return. Is
Nice
destroyed all
reference.
over.
I know what that is. That's the Star Wars, man.
That's the Star Wars.
I've heard of that.
You have, haven't you?
I've been around the block.
All right, Subtraction gonna try to look for a good ultimate. Please,
No coalescence for you.
may this pulse bomb be good, and it wasn't.
It was okay.
Didn't get anything out of it, but they still win the fight. Concordia Esports completely obliterates Vicious Phantom. Nothing to say here. They're gonna get the point. Can they just trickle down that overtime? I think they will. Nothing to do here. Concordia Esports runs away with the game, 2-0.
Kind of like Vicious Phantom's game. Miso using the best ending pose for Winston.
Oh yeah.
using the red skin that I told him about last week too. Good boy.
And look at that triple elimination.
Look at these slaps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, just push him out.
He
Just
bullied
push him out,
everyone
my
off the
friend.
map.
Oh yeah. Look, if you're gonna play a composition like Vicious Phantoms, you have to be ready to fight in the nitty-gritty. You're using a Reaper, you have to protect your DPS.
You're rather immobile too, so...
Yeah, and they were using the triple tank relatively efficiently, but Unova died really early in team fights where he needed to defend his Reaper, and then when the Reaper eventually got the good matchups on the one-on-one, he still died. He didn't have enough life left to challenge anybody on the map, so Concordia ran away with most of the fights. In both rounds, Vicious Phantom won the fight at 99%, just the desperation fight.
And then Concordia came back, and it's like, no, your fun's over now.
You're completely out of fuel, you don't have ultimates, you don't have the economy on your side, and we know we can take you even if we don't have ultimates on our side. So this is how it goes, 2-0 for Concordia. I mean, no surprises here, but it would have been nice to see Vicious Phantom get one out this season. Really, they are heading into the playoffs with maybe not the most positive
uphill battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put it that way.
It's not the most positive of records that they have, but again, we say it every single week. Great ideas on their side, but the execution is still lacking. So with a bit of practice, maybe you can surprise a team or two in the playoffs and just
maybe go watch some Overwatch League. See how they like. Honestly, the best way for teams to learn is pretty much how most teams go about it. Is you watch the pros, you watch the Korean scene, you watch what they do, and then you try and mimic it. You're like, oh, let's see how this Winston goes in. Oh, he's going in. Tracer is coming from the back. Maybe let's try and mimic that, or maybe look at compositions that people play on certain maps. I know Hanamura was played last week on Overwatch League, so might want to take a gander and see what that's all about.
That or simply practice.
Yep,
Just
that helps too.
6-man and find scrims against the best teams possible, and just try to get those mechanical skills up there with the rest of the league. I mean, let's be honest here. Vicious Phantom they are going to end the season with the last spot on that ranking.
Most likely, yes, I believe. I think they're the only team with one win.
I do believe so. I think Team Status Dusk do have 2 wins. They did win against Vicious.
I think they still have 1 win. They're 1-5, but they're playing versus Team Status. They're playing versus their sister team tomorrow.
No, I think they're 2-4.
Somebody needs
Let's
to
see.
We'll
might
figure
be wrong.
it out.
I might be completely wrong. We'll figure it out when we actually see the rankings. In the meantime, though, we are taking a bit of a break before we head into our duel at the very summit of the league between the Psychopaths and the Grizzlies. Don't go anywhere. We are coming back when the teams are ready.